Welcome back to Reviews with Ronel. Today's book, I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Segal. An interesting enough story about two girls who end up stuck in riots, one at their school and one on their way home. It's fast-paced, full of emotion, and the girls will obviously be friends after sharing this experience together. But the book came highly recommended with loads of hype about how groundbreaking it is, and I felt a bit like, what was the point? When the book ended, I kept reading, hoping for more story and less sensationalism. Maybe it's my own friendships and life experiences, but there was nothing in this book that I'm not familiar with. Sure, the words and logos of the protesters are different in the book than in my country, but the riots and the reasons behind them are all too familiar. I'm not going to get into the sheer stupidity of the girls who find themselves in a second riot. Why not call an adult? Why willingly walk into a danger zone after a boy who clearly doesn't care one whit? Why not just walk home? I'm not going to get into the language or stylistic issues either, but this really bothered me. There's a point when Lena snaps that ghetto isn't a place for a person. Facepalm. The term ghetto comes from Venice, Italy, in 1516, when they created a settlement near a foundry. A different spelling of ghetto, but that's where the name came from, specifically for Jews. This trend to create ghettos for Jews in Rome, Frankfurt, Prague, and other cities continued late into the 17th century. Yes, it is traditionally a poor neighborhood in a city, filled with minorities, but it isn't a word exclusively owned or even coined by Americans. The sensationalist nature of describing the riot on 7th Avenue was in bad taste, just like the media would do it to get more ratings. If you've actually been in a riot before, you'd most likely agree. Perhaps someone privileged enough to not have lived through something like this book can learn from it. But with all the loose ends, unresolved plot issues, and the lack of true character growth, this was a mere read for me, and not one I would read again or recommend. Subscribe for books and folklore.